In recent years, after Lucasfilms were bought up by Disney, Star Wars was split in two. This meant that a Star Wars novel, comic, game, movie, or animation could either be kept in canon or cut out to Legends. This understanding made a lot of Star Wars fans mad, as now their favorite Star Wars media was considered not a part of the actual story. However, Disney making Star Wars Legends is understandable if not necessary. Now before you click off the video, I'm not here to champion Disney, as they have made plenty of horrible decisions with their executive power over Star Wars. Boba Fett Starship. I'm also not here to say that Legends nor canon is flawless. Legends left novels about Darth Bane not canon, although his rule of two was key to everything, even 1,000 years after his death. I know he shows up in that one Clone Wars episode where he talks about the rule of two or whatever, but you know.
Doesn't count.
Also, what is he supposed to be? A Sith Lord or a samurai? The canon also has problems like Han Solo not believing in the Force or the Jedi.
You don't believe in the Force, do you?
Kid, I've flown from one side of this galaxy to the other. I've seen a lot of strange stuff, but I've never seen anything to make me believe there's one all-powerful force controlling everything.
Although his partner in crime Chewbacca literally fought in the Clone Wars right next to Yoda only 20 years ago. However, many Star Wars fans overly criticize or even are opposed to the idea of Star Wars Legends existing. This is where I disagree, as I think many Star Wars fans have let their feelings cloud their judgment. Star Wars Legends is actually Disney's solution to a problem that is unavoidable for any big franchise. Let me explain. Both Marvel and DC Comics are companies that have existed for nearly a century, but the fact that these characters are still relevant means they never stop promoting them through comics, movies, novels, games, and etc. However, eventually the timeline starts to get a bit skewed, as Captain America this week could be an Avenger and American hero, while the next week he can be a war criminal on the run as a fugitive.
Pretty sure this guy's a war criminal now.
Therefore, it's essential not to overstuff your timeline with too many unnecessary stories to keep the continuity straight and help the characters feel authentic, so that the stuff like the Clone Saga doesn't happen again. But that requires stuff like meaningful endings, which is monetary suicide. So if you start exceeding the limit of how many stories you can fit into one continuity, you have to start inventing new ways to solve this problem. There are usually three main ways to deal with this. 1. Try to retcon the older stories, as in try to force and stretch the older stories to fit your new narrative. 2. Use magic or some other way to erase the problematic story or element from your timeline, a favorite of Marvel Comics and now Marvel Studios. 3. Just reboot or reconstruct the entire timeline so that many stories that contradict with their current narrative is not counted canon. Returning back to Star Wars, it has countless amounts of movies, series, novels, comics, and games. But before Disney's purchase, it was kind of a free-for-all where any writer authorized by Lucasfilms could write whatever story they wished in the Star Wars universe. Nobody was concerned about canonicity, and with no one at the wheel to manage the thousands of different stories being released every year, Star Wars was a jumbled mess where fans could pick and choose the stories they liked and make their own headcanon. This can be seen as a good thing from a certain point of view. After all, this can give every fan a unique experience of Star Wars and make the full scope of the Star Wars universe huge with the countless stories from every corner of the galaxy. But allowing almost any author to write a story with Star Wars with no one at the wheel to manage, many stories started to sound more like Wattpad fanfiction than actual licensed material, like Luke having a ghost girlfriend that haunts a ship who was from the planet called Chad. You heard that right, Chad. Having so many, let's say, less than ideal authors, as they might lack knowledge of what Star Wars is about, with no one to set and manage an overall structure to the timeline, eventually these type of weird stories that make the characters feel out of character happens more frequently. But this can also have a side effect of alienating new or casual fans to the franchise, as it's obviously going to be difficult for them to watch, read, or play over 8,000 different things just to join a conversation. This is why Disney cleared out the timeline to make it more comprehensive, and have the characters within that timeline be at least somewhat authentic to the original movies.
I feel the conflict within you. Let go of your hate.
How well they accomplished that latter goal can be debated. Seriously, you forgave your father for killing millions, but now your nephew has a bad dream and you're gonna kill him? What can be debated is that Disney sorting out Star Wars as a whole into Legends and canon did make the timeline indeed more comprehensive. Unfortunately, this also made amazing games like Knights of the Republic, Force Unleashed, and Republic Commando to name a few, not canon. Also, a lot of novels and comics that explain crucial backstory and history were also put into non-canon. This is usually the reason why so many fans are mad at Disney for the creation of Legends. However, Disney hasn't left these things completely neglected. They so far have brought many elements from these Legends titles into the new canon.
A relic of a bygone era when Mandalorians had reason to imprison you Force-wielding maniacs.
As along with literally having a Knights of the Old Republic remake game in the works as we speak. I think this is crucial information that Legends wasn't made to spite the fans or to completely delete the history of Star Wars, but to clear it up and focus it, so that stories like Darth Revan's can exist, while characters like Jackson T. Tumberaken can disappear as far away as possible. Wait, what? He's canon? So you're telling me that this green bunny is canon but not Darth Nihilus? What the fuck? I hope if nothing else, this video at least gave you an idea of my line of thought, and maybe help you see all of Disney's actions as less cynical, except the sequel movies, which are nothing but a sin.
Oh, they fly now! They fly now! They fly now!
Unlike the Clone Wars Season 7, Fallen Order, Bad Batch, Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, and also all the new canon novels and comics, which are all great, but also were produced by Disney. I think this really shows that Disney isn't the main problem with the sequel movies being as it is. Just because a piece of Star Wars media has Disney producing it doesn't mean that a passionate director and a team of writers who are Star Wars fans themselves can't make a damn good Star Wars story. However, even these novels, comics, and Disney Plus shows can be a slippery slope to fall back down into the same problem with Legends. Some of these upcoming shows like the Obi-Wan or the Mandalorian Season 3 seem to me like adding on more to a story that has already been more or less complete. Din Djarin learned to trust others and take off his helmet, while Grogu left the weird CGI face Luke. And we already basically know all of Obi-Wan's story. Is this show just going to be about how Obi Hermit on Tatooine is fighting off Sand people and trading with the Jawas? And we already saw that emotional climactic end to Obi-Wan and Darth Maul's relationship in Rebels. As a big Star Wars fan myself, I can't help but feel excited about these new shows, but I still worry if these continuations will actually add something worthwhile, or if they'll end up deviating the story in a weird way like all those Legend stories did before it. Basically, to boil it down, all I'm asking from Disney is, please make Battlefront 3. Hey, thank you if you made it this far into the video. You're probably the only like 3 or 2 people that did. Thank you for watching all the way through, honestly. This took me a lot of time and a lot of work to put together, script out, and all that stuff. So if you've made it this far, comment down Jar Jar winks or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, in the future, I will be making more Star Wars content, so if you're interested in that, stick around. Definitely, make sure to watch those too. My next video will be about a rice experiment. So if that sounds interesting to you, stick around too. Anyway, yeah, that's about it for this video. Hope to see you in another video soon. Yeah, bye.